Right, so, bad news.
Oh no.
I don't know if we're going to be able to keep doing the show.
Oh no?
Yeah, apparently I've lost the NFT of Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
Oh no.
Yes.
Does this mean what rights have we lost there?
All of them.
Oh no.
We don't have any rights.
Oh no.
We've got no rights.
Why did we connect all of the rights to our creative project to a thing that could be physically stolen?
That's a good question.
I feel like the show would have been in better hands if there was, not a physical object you could steal and the show stops being able to be made.
I would have thought so too. Oh, wait, I've just checked. We never minted an NFT, because
Oh,
we're not fucking stupid.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, I wonder who you confused us with.
Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Kate Magnet Dale.
And I'm not Jane Aerith Magnet Dale, and welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers. It's a podcast where two queer trans women talk about the things we've done in the week and generally try and make ourselves giggle a bit, and don't make the mistakes that Seth Green makes. For anyone who's unaware of what that opening was about, Seth Green can't make a TV show he was going to make now because
About
the
his
rights,
bored ape.
yeah, the rights to a character were attached to an NFT that got stolen from him. So, oops. But yeah, we have a catch up on what we've been up to in our weeks here on this show.
Yes, we do. And we usually start with gaming, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we want to get to listen. We will get there.
We'll get there. I will have many things to say, but what have you been playing this week?
Well, I had a Kickstarter arrive.
Ooh, what Kickstarter arrived?
This was... So the Kickstarter was for Monsters on Board by Final Frontier Games.
Okay.
Who make Merchant's Cove.
Yes.
So this is a dice drafting game.
Okay.
You have a bag full of beautiful screen-printed, custom-coloured dice.
Yeah.
You take 4 out, you roll them, you take the die and you place them into little fold-out, like the boats in Merchant's Cove?
Yes.
What if they were little cars that were sort of spooky?
That you could put dice in.
They've got 4 little seats for the dice, and they are kind of spooky cars. So one of them's like a skeleton, one of them's like a sarcophagus kind of. One's got like vampire fangs on the front grille.
Yeah.
And you then you're trying to get these demon lords, these monster lords, to your party. And you're also trying to rustle up enough fright juice, I think it is, or scare juice, in order to feed, to entertain your lords at this party that you're hosting. So you are getting your minions of various colours to move around your own personal double-layered board. It's a huge board. There's 4 of them. It's 1 to 4 player. And you are sort of rolling. So you're drafting dice first. You take a dice out. You move the car around to the next person. Then you move your people depending on what colour they are and which dice you've got. And then you put 3 of those die into your slots on your own board, and you put 1 of them back. That was a well-contained sneeze, love.
Oh, I've podcasted enough years. I've learned to contain sneezes fairly well.
That was impressive.
Just talk through them. I'll keep them quiet.
Wow. Okay. So you are basically just trying to throw the best possible party.
Yay!
And I played the solo mode for that. It's I'm not sure I got all the rules correct, but
often the way with the first play of a new game.
Well, I mean, difficult to tell. I mean, the thing that threw me off is that the scoreboard, the score tracker board goes up to 99 maximum.
Right.
And I scored 287 versus the Automa's like 180 something. So
that does sound perhaps like one of the rules somewhere was maybe not followed correctly.
Maybe.
But did you have fun?
I enjoyed it. I think it would be more fun with another person.
Well, soon, once I stop all of this gallivanting about, I'll be free to learn boarded games.
We've got
again.
a second edit of a book to do, so
Well, yes.
probably going to be a little while now.
Many travelling and re-editing of book, but soon there will be time to learn to play a game with you.
One day, eventually.
One
By
day.
which time there'll probably be another one, because apparently all the Kickstarters that I ordered like 3 years ago are finally showing up.
Oh, exactly when we don't have the time to sit down and learn them.
Right? But once winter rolls around, we'll get to do them all again. The other thing that came with that was Spook Manor. I don't remember if this was originally part of the Kickstarter or if this was thrown in at some point
Maybe it was
later.
one of those milestones of like X number of people have backed the game X amount, so have this for free, I guess.
I don't know, because I don't remember it being part of the thing. I remember deliberately going, I'm not going to get like a full expanded version with tons of extra shit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get the base game and see how it be. And I looked on BGG, Board Game Geek, and it was like, it's not available, but it was last seen in 2021. Like, it was officially created in 2021, but like there's no reviews or anything of it yet.
Okay.
So Spook Manor is like a 152 card deck of these little square tiles.
Mm-hmm.
You have it's set in the same universe as Monsters on Board.
Yeah.
So you have a little entrance hall with some icons printed on it of one is of a type of lighting and one is of a colour of creature.
Okay.
And you are basically drafting cards, you're passing them around between each other, draft cards, and adding them to your mana. And they will... I'm trying to remember what the game was on PS1, where you're like building a hotel, and the rooms will interact with each other around.
Okay,
So it's like, this person will affect these neighbours.
Okay.
And in this case, it's like, if you've got these type of room next to us, you'll get 1 or 2 points per instance of that thing. And then you'll get points for having a certain number of towers in your manor that are over 6 high. Okay. And the number of different lighting types you have all around. And then there's other ones for, like, if you've got invitation cards, you'll get these little coloured meeples, but they're not meeples because they're monsters, they're creeples.
Oh!
And, like, some of them will be like, get 2 matching colours, or get 4, and the more you have that are not matching, the more points you will score. Things like that. And if it eventually you will have a big manor, and you score them up against each other. I played 2 games of this solo. This one was way easier to work out all the rules for. Very clearly written. The only thing that confused me slightly is the first game where I didn't really know what I was doing, and I probably hadn't quite shuffled 152 cards as well as they could be. I scored 98, and the second time, when everything seemed to be a bit more settled, score-wise or shuffle-wise, I scored 97. And it's like 2 games very close together, so close together in score. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how I do with this further going forward. But yeah, again, would like to see it in higher player counts. I think this plays 1 to 6.
Yeah.
And solo is really easy to work out, and I think it'd be very easy to teach.
At some point in time, I will learn and give it a go.
At some point. So what about you? What have you been playing?
I've not been playing much at all this week. I've been largely out the house, but I did literally like 20 minutes maybe before we recorded the podcast today, finally finish being done with Pokemon Go after my a little over a month, maybe 4 or 5 weeks of jumping back into it to try and get this bloody shiny Mew.
Got it.
I've done it. I did it.
Never again.
Never again. So first of all, fun fact, like 5 weeks of jumping in for like a few minutes every day just to get through the quest that required me to log in every day for 30 days. I got through like every single quest that's released in the last 2.5 years for that game, because so much of the way that game pads out content is by having you do the same things over and over again at different points in time. And if you have access to all the quests all at once, because they all arrive, like, they've just stacked up for a couple of years, you can basically just do them all at once. And it's a very quick process to be like, oh, I played for a few weeks and played 2 years of content. But yeah, I did the ridiculous Shiny Mew quest that I've had sat around since, I believe, February of last year. Finally did it. I got my Shiny Mew. It's got pretty good stats. And now I'm going to put Pokemon Go down again and not play it anymore. I might as well talk about the other thing I played while I'm here, because it's the only other thing I played, because it's the only other thing I had mental space for this past week. I continued to hunt for that shiny Regieleki, and it still hasn't happened.
Boo, crimes.
But Pokemon Home now supports Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. So I can move my shiny collection about a bit now, which is nice. I'd like to move on from Sword and Shield now. It's just that one Regieleki that's holding me back.
I hear there's some weirdness about the home stuff.
So Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus, they've handled slightly differently to past. I mean, kind of differently to how they did Home in the past. The short version is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because they had a different way of handling Pokemon stats to the main series games. Those you could only transfer one way. You could transfer from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee to Home to put them in other games, but you couldn't put them back into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Right.
Because they didn't want you, like, trying to fuck about with the stats by, like, back and forth until you got the stats you wanted.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl generally works how you would expect. The only difference is that you can't transfer back and forth the Pokemon Spinder, because the one with the billions of different combos of spots, because they programmed the algorithm for how the spots are generated backwards in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and they don't want to fuck shit up, so they're like, Spinder is trapped in that game. Can't get in or out.
Knocking on the inside of the screen. Hello.
Yeah. But like Legends Arceus, So Legends Arceus you can transfer to and from. And you can transfer to and from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But for both of them, instead of letting you keep whatever the moveset they have in those games, it auto-generates you a new moveset based on the Pokemon's level if you transfer them into a different game. But if you transfer them back to the game they came from, they will have their original moveset. Which I'm guessing is to get around the fact that Legends Arceus allowed certain Pokemon to learn certain moves they normally couldn't in other games. Which is a shame, because I would have liked them to just treat it like the Surfing Pikachu. You found a game in which that Pokemon could learn that move, they can just learn that move now and know that move now. Yeah, there's a few little weird things about it, but I'm glad that the ability to move those Pokemon around full stop exists now. So I'm glad it exists, even if it took a while and it's a bit weird.
Yay.
What about you? What else have you played?
Couple of things. So, first one I want to talk about is Stacklands.
Tell me about Stacklands.
This is a village building game with a deck of cards.
Okay.
So you start with a villager.
Yeah.
And a booster pack of cards. You open the booster pack, and there inside you will find basic things like a berry bush, maybe, or a tree.
Yeah.
And you can forage berries from the bush, and you can harvest the tree for wood, and maybe even harvest the wood down into sticks. And you can sell anything you get, or you could maybe combine things. And try and work out if that's a specific combination that will get you something else.
Yeah.
Like 2 wood and a stick. Have you made some kind of spear, perhaps? Things like that. And eventually you will just find loads of combinations. You also get ideas sometimes, which are just like, hey, you opened a booster pack and you got an idea. Try this, you will get a thing. Maybe you've already done that thing. Maybe you haven't.
Okay.
But, like, maybe you know how to make a berry smoothie now. So you put a berry on some milk. If you've got a cow, you might be generating milk. And yeah, you're basically trying to keep your villagers alive. Maybe maybe increase the size of the village and increase your hand of cards because you can only hold so many cards.
Yeah.
And periodically you'll have to feed everyone, and if there isn't enough food, people will just die.
Aha! Okay.
It's a fun little game. It's about £3 on Steam.
Nice.
It was a fun evening while I sat waiting for you to return from Milton Keynes.
Yes, you staying up till 3 a.m. for me to make my journey home.
Yep.
Just about made it.
And I just about stayed awake. Yeah, so that was Stacklands. The other thing I played, I'm going to go briefly into Planet Crafter. That's had an update.
Oh, yes, this is the terraforming the planet-y one,
This is the one,
that you've
yep.
been enjoying.
Yeah, I've been enjoying a lot of that. I'm streaming it at the moment. Thinking I might do a full playthrough of that.
Ooh.
It's been a while since I've just gone, this is a thing, and I'm going to do that thing for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a good streaming game because it's really gentle.
Yeah.
Apart from, like, possibly just dying from lack of food or oxygen.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't have, like, massive consequences, so I don't think it mattered too much if I just lost focus and while streaming. I think it'd be okay. But yeah, enjoying that. It's just had a new update. There's a couple of new areas, there's some new caves, there's some new secret stuff, there's a new golden chest, there is a whole new biome, the crater, which is just a big crater with some water in the bottom, maybe, if you've already got liquid water on your planet. And there's just a big burny rock in the middle, and there's a couple of secret bits around there. There's a whole new pulsar quartz cave if you want to find pulsar quartz, because you can't make it anymore. It is a limited resource that seems to occasionally appear in this cave. There's teleporters now, which makes getting across the map so much easier. But the fact that the pulsar quartz is now so limited, it's like, but I wanted to make it a nuclear fusion reactor because those are really, really good.
Yeah.
And really cheap. But also, I want teleporters because the map is fucking huge and getting huger.
Huger.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm still enjoying it. I'm enjoying all the new stuff. I'm enjoying going through it again on stream. I think we've just got our first nuclear power plant, like a tier 1, maybe a tier 2. Things are looking pretty groovy in that world, so come by on a Thursday and see us watch me play through Planet Crafter again. The last thing I've been playing, there has been an update to Vampire Survivors.
Ooh, I've not had a chance to check this out.
There are, so there's a couple of new levels.
Ooh.
One of them has a thing that happens, I'm not going to spoil it because I know you're playing it.
Yeah.
A thing that happens that at the end of it you get an item.
Nice.
And that item reveals secrets in other levels.
Okay, I like that.
I wouldn't say it actually reveals secrets because I know I've been to those places.
Yeah.
Like, I can definitely say I've been to those places. These items did not exist previously, but
okay.
It now generates 4 items in every level.
Okay.
1 to the left, 1 to the right, and unless you're in the
library, it's only left and right? Or?
The library, it's everything's left and right. In the tower, obviously everything is up and down.
Yeah.
So there's 2 rings, a gold one and a silver one.
Okay.
And there are 2 arrows, a left and a right, although they point in the opposite direction. So try and remember which one's which.
Okay.
The icons look like they're pointing in the wrong direction, which is typically confusing of this game. And the silver ring and the left arrow are really, really good. The silver ring is like, you can have like bonus XP and a large area of effect, and things cool down quicker. And the left arrow is like really fast healing, regeneration. It's like cool. And then you've got the gold ring, which and the right arrow, both of which increase speed, health, frequency of enemies.
Oh no.
So getting to 30 minutes with both of those powered to full.
Because
I was like, maybe if I add the left and right arrow together, I'll get a combo.
No.
Yeah, it's so I'm not going to say what the combos are, but there are at least 2 combos so far that I found that have unlocked completely new sort of super weapons
Cool.
that have been really good. One of them was enough for me to actually kill Death.
Nice!
So I finally killed Death and unlocked Death as a
Hooray!
playable character without having to do the cheaty stand in a corner thing.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's still a tough fight, but
Yeah.
like the 2 new items that I found, one is a like a big AoE blast, like a big rainbow blast that halves everything's health.
Oh,
And
that
it just goes boom, everything's got half health. Boom, everything's got half health.
Yeah, exponential health drops. I can see how that could feasibly take down Death.
The other thing that you can do, the other item that I found is a cloak that caps damage you take at 10.
Yep.
It's like, so everything can only do a maximum of 10.
Very good combination of things for fighting Death.
I had both of those 2 things together while fighting Death.
Yeah, okay. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that's really fun. And Death is a really fast-moving character.
Yeah.
And I had Death with the winged boots, the winged boots powered all the way up.
Yeah.
And I was outrunning experience in gold that was just following me around the map. That was a lot of fun. There's a new area. I think there's a couple of new challenges. They've added some more Arcana cards and ways to unlock those Arcana cards.
I'm excited to give this a look when I have some time.
Yeah, and still amazing value for £2.9p.
Yeah.
And apparently it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, apparently so.
Just buy it though.
Yeah,
It's better
just
to
buy
own
it. But again, if £2.09 is turning you off trying it, it's coming to Game Pass if you've got that.
Yeah, if you've already got that, and £2.09 is a bit much for you. But also, like, I've recently heard that indie devs on Game Pass are getting a fixed sum when they put their game up, and nothing else.
If that's correct, I hadn't heard that. I've heard very conflicting things over the years.
I heard this a couple of days ago from a couple of sources on Twitter, so take it with a pinch of salt.
I've not been up to speed on what's happening in gaming. I've had more important things.
I'm glad. But yeah, apparently there's a few indie devs have been saying, yeah, we get offered a one price when we put it up. We don't get any residuals. We don't get per player. We don't get like a percentage for the fact that loads of people have chosen to play this. So for £2.9p, maybe still just buy it.
Buy it
if you can.
It's £2.
I mean,
Go on.
things are tight right now.
I know.
Maybe a lot of value for £2.9 it would be just the thing.
If you are looking for a video game that has a lot of value per money, this is a one.
Yeah.
Have you played anything else, or is that it?
I think that's everything.
Well then, time for this. Right, everyone. Oh, we've just finished another song. How are you all doing out there, crowd? I can't hear you. Oh, it seems like everything's getting pretty wild in there. Everyone's getting very energised, very ready. I've seen a bit of a mosh pit starting to open. You know what that means? It's time for everyone to relax and have a nice sip of water and step back to give everyone a little bit of space. Let's continue to calmly and respectfully rock.
So, Zomwop,
Yes.
we're having some trouble with our branding, I think.
Yes.
We started this dating app for magical sorts.
Yes, the arcane dating app. Yes.
Yes, and no one seems to be a lot of warlocks. It's a warlock fest.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of that, but I'm also seeing a suspicious number of weird holy types bumbling around. I'm not entirely sure why they're here.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people referring to them as chasers.
Oh, well, possibly. I see them wandering around with crosses and ready to set up fires, and I don't know what they would be doing here.
I don't know. Someone suggested it was a branding issue. I don't really understand the problem.
I don't know. Maybe we just Google the name.
Gents, I think I might have the answer here.
Yes.
I mean, as I've flagged up to you several times before, you did name the site Witchfinder.
Yes, we wish to find witches to date.
Yeah, that's also a type of person who burns magical practitioners. Hence the holy books. I have several memos about this.
Oh. I suppose that is another group that do want to find witches.
So, what have you put in your
What have I put in my eyes?
Probably not much, I'm guessing.
Not a huge amount. I watched a YouTube video that's a follow-up to one I talked about a little while ago on this show called Gen 2 to Gen 3 Development Update by the YouTube channel Goppier, Goppier. This is the person I was talking about before who made the 3D printed PCB for trading between Gen 2 and Gen 3 physical cartridges. He did a little video update about how that's going. He's been trying to do certain things like get the trades to happen at the same time as each other and like synchronize so that they're not happening out of sync. Some interesting discussion of like how the two games handle sending data back and forth. I believe it's Gen 3 sends 2 Pokemon's full data at a time, whereas Gen 2 sends all of the data for names for all 6 Pokemon, all of the data for the moves. It breaks it down that way. So if the games are trying to trade 2 Pokemon's worth of data back and forth at a time to do their 6, one gets a third of the way through the bar and it's sent 2 Pokemon's worth of data, whereas the other one has to go like 90% of the way because it's going to do all 6's, this bit, get to the final set of data and do the first 2 of that.
Okay.
So interesting stuff of trying to work out how to sync those up. He rearranged it slightly so that things like the wireless trade adapter will work by moving around where the link cable ports were. And he talked about one of the biggest questions people had about it, which is this a thing that you would make available to people? And his basic answer is yes, but I want it to be perfect before I do that. Because there's a few things that he's still like, it's a little bit fiddly. Because like the way it currently works is that he's having to send data multiple times in one direction to sync up with it going once in the other direction. He's like, that's a bit of a bodge fix, and I think there's a better way to do it, and I want to have that right. But yeah, once it's ready, he's very open to just putting these up online to be like, here you go, here's the thing you can just buy and plug a link cable into and trade between Gen 2 and 3, which is pretty neat. Another little wrinkle that he's come up with a solution for that was interesting is because of the way that the 2 competing games handle certain data, Gen 2 determines shininess based on IV values, but Gen 3 determines something else off of IVs. I think it might be what moves the Pokemon knows, but the 2 games handle a different bit of information based on IVs, and he's made a little switch on the top of the PCB, so when you're doing a trade, you can go, do you want the shiny status to be kept intact, or do you want this other thing to be kept intact? Which thing do you want the IVs to be treated as when the trade happens? So, like, yeah, there's a lot of, here's a fiddly thing and a solution, and it's not going to be perfect, but you can at least pick which one you want to prioritize, and it's got a little light up LED so you can see which one's currently being prioritized. It's a neat little project to follow along with, and I'm intrigued watching his progress.
Fascinating.
Yeah. What about you? What have you watched?
Not a lot, really. I've been watching a lot of Dylan Hollis videos. I've discovered Dylan Hollis on TikTok.
Yeah.
He does like 1920s to 1950s recipes, like lots of Depression era cookery stuff.
Oh, is
most
this...
of it sort of...
I know who this is. This is the very British voice sounding...
He's definitely American, but he's
got a sort of...
He's got incredible diction.
Yes. That's probably what I'm picking there, is very enunciated.
Yes.
But yes, I know who you mean.
And yeah, he's done videos for like tomato soup cake, sauerkraut cake, water pie.
Yes, water pie is the one I was going to mention. I was like, it's the water pie guy, right?
This is the water pie guy. He says things like synonym, and eggies. And I somehow got fed his videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's just going to be shorts. And it is mostly shorts, but also there's like 15, 20-minute long videos of like, so I'm going to talk about a thing that I made. Like, one of them was a 15-minute exploration of peanut butter bread, which was like a recipe found in one of these really old books, and like reasons that it was cooked in a certain way and explaining certain things about it. And then like, I want to make one that's better. And here are my 7 attempts at making a better peanut butter bread, and the sort of what worked and what didn't work, what was wrong, what seemed like it should have worked but didn't, and stuff like that. And it's just a wholesome cookery show about just really old recipes, very often very badly written. Yeah, I just enjoy his energy for baking. What about you? Have you watched anything else?
I've fallen down a little bit of a rabbit hole watching videos of a man that just reviews coffee and talks about coffee a lot.
Okay.
James Hoffman on YouTube, who I found because of it might have been on his second channel, but it was a Tom Scott video about Tom Scott being like, I don't understand coffee. Can someone who knows about coffee find a coffee I like and help me understand how to enjoy coffee and what I like in a coffee? And it was a really interesting, like, breaking through like the different kinds of coffee and like zoning in on like, okay, you don't think you like coffee, let me zone in on what you like or don't in coffee and sort of zone into something that works for you. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of his videos. He's just a very listenable person. He's got one of those, I could just have him chatting in the background and be like, that's very pleasant to listen to. Got a bunch of good videos. I watched one today, I remember, about Kopi Luwak, which is the civet coffee.
Right.
Are you aware of this? So there's a kind of little marsupial that will eat certain coffee berries and poop out the undigested coffee beans.
Okay.
And apparently some kind of process happens in there where people think the coffee tastes better, the poop coffee. And it therefore has gained quite a high price. And he talks about like the actual experience of drinking that coffee, but also the history of how that coffee came about and the terrible exploitation that like that created a market for essentially factory farming these civets. And like, the coffee's not that good, and even if it was, don't support this shitty industry that has sprung up around like the mystique over this coffee. It was an interesting video. It was well put together. Generally really have enjoyed his stuff, so I recommend him. What about you? What have you watched?
That is pretty much it, really. A lot of TikTok. I've watched a lot of TikTok because I have required the dopamine.
Yeah. I've had very little ability to focus on anything particularly long form this week because all of my focus was other things we'll talk about in another segment in a minute. I did watch one other video. How easily can you beat Pokemon Legends Arceus without catching any Pokemon? By a YouTube channel called Johnstone.
Okay.
So Pokemon Legends Arceus, big mechanic is you can throw Pokeballs without entering battles, do all that. His question was, how few Pokemon can you catch outside of mandatory catches to technically complete that game?
Okay.
So like, you have to catch the 3 starters at the beginning to get the game started and pick one to go with. And the very first quest of the game requires you to catch a Bidoof, a Starly, and a Shinx. But he was like, beyond that, just by, say, doing the non-catching based Pokedex encounters to raise my level so that because, like, raising your Pokedex level is what is required to unlock new areas and progress the story. He was like, with that team of Pokemon I currently have, can I get enough research points from things that aren't catching more Pokemon to progress the game? And there's some interesting wrinkles around the fact that, like, let's say Ponyta, there is a research task for knocking out Ponyta with water-type moves. You can do that, but until you catch a Ponyta, you won't be rewarded for that task.
Okay.
So you need to you can do the thing and have it counting ready to give you points, but unless you catch one, it won't give you the points.
Right.
So, trying to work out, okay, the Pokemon I have already caught, how can I maximize getting the points off them? If I have to catch anything non-mandatory, what is going to give me the most points possible for non-catching related tasks, so I can just catch one of it and get a bunch of points still. And he worked out you can get to the end of that game with only 3 non-mandatory catches.
Right.
In his method of going through it, he caught a Chatterlot, a Geodude, and a Rhyhorn.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only 3 Pokemon he caught other than the ones he was forced to catch for the narrative, and managed to make it to the end. And it was a fascinating little watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's everything I've watched this week.
Well then.
Time for this.
Laura, got any sponsor?
Who's our new sponsor?
Well, did you recently go to a gig?
I did indeed.
And did you suffer any injuries at said gig?
I mean, I was front and centre barrier, and if I wanted to stay on that barrier, my hips did take quite a bit of a beating from the other hips either side of me.
Right, and of course hips, famously, tellers of truth.
I mean, my hips don't lie.
And they say ouch.
If they say ouch, I was squashed between other hips trying to displace me from space, and that was quite painful.
Well then, today's sponsor might have been helpful to you a week ago.
Oh, it's always the way. You wait for a sponsor and then it turns up just a week late.
So this week's sponsor is concerthipguards.lol.net.
How convenient.
So
Tell
if
me
you
more.
want to avoid painful hip height bruises from both sides of other people fighting your hips into submission... who wrote this copy?
I don't know.
Get these discreet hip guards to protect yourself before you wreck yourself, or someone else wrecks you when the rock gets wild.
I mean...
not the rock, eyebrow. The rock. Rock.
I mean, look, my hips of a few days ago would certainly thank me for this very specific marketing copy.
Well, maybe next week, so that's concerthipguards.lol.net. And enter the code Q&PS 123. No, 213. Dyslexia. It's not even written down.
Well, I mean, now that we've had this sponsor, I guess that's an excuse that I should order some and then go to another MCR tour date. They've got to be played somewhere near.
Paris, I believe?
Yeah, I can get there with some new discreet concert hip cards.
You've got a passport.
Yeah.
Inside the boardroom of Supremacy Software.
Hi. So, I've been, watching, all the various things coming out. I try and keep abreast of what other media's coming out, and,
Breast.
Yeah, breast. I think I've seen something that might be very useful to us.
Right.
There's, a movie's just come out. It's got a animated, chipmunk or whatever, and other kind of animated chipmunk, and they're off on adventures and stuff,
Right.
and one of the things in this film is they've got remember when everyone hated that CGI blue hedgehog in the movie trailer?
Snark.
Yeah. Remember how they looked like horrifying and they were terrible?
Yeah, it was great.
It was great, but apparently customers didn't like it. But this new movie has the blue hedgehog in its original bad design. They make a joke out of it. They're like, haha, look how bad the job we did with that blue hedgehog was. Look how shitty a hedgehog we made.
Right, and also there's that cross-eyed guard with the whole the train thing
exactly.
with multiple hangers.
There's a bunch of bits in this film that seem to be about look at how bad of a job people in the past did.
Right.
And I'm thinking, is this proof that it's endearing to make jokes about the shitty things we do?
Right, because we relate to us, modern us understands.
Yeah, exactly. We go, hey, that thing you thought was shit, we thought it was shit too. Ha ha ha, we're in on the joke, not just bad developers. We're in on it.
Hey, it was the best we could do at the time, with the technology of the day.
So, I'm wondering, is it too soon for us to maybe do that with a game we released a month ago that's got real bad Metascore? Can we turn that around by being like, ha ha ha, we know it was bad?
Right, yeah, I mean, I think A month. I mean, that's
plenty of time,
fast,
right? You know, they'll be ready to laugh at the fact they spent $60 on trash.
And we're still selling them DLC.
Yeah, exactly.
Season passes.
Exactly. We'll sell them DLC in which, you know, all the bad stuff that we've, you know, patched out since, we put it back in, but, like, we do a big pointy arrow going, look at how bad it looks, isn't that funny?
You are a fucking genius.
I know.
So, what have you put in your ears?
Well, I did, and then you did it the last bit of this. So last week in the Listened, I talked about seeing My Chemical Romance live.
Yeah.
I've seen them multiple more times since then, and I have more things to say. In particular, I've seen all three of their Milton Keynes live shows, and I wish to discuss them because it was a wild few days. First of all, the Thursday, the first Milton Keynes show, is the one in which zombie robot blood-soaked Gerard Way came out on stage with no explanation.
Just as I suspected.
Yeah, with the metaverse meta logo on his head, and sang like a bunch of the songs of the evening with like a robot.
With a
demon robot
modulator.
modulator voice going on. It was amazing. It was fantastic. I had no idea at the time what the fuck was going on. And the confusion and excitement that occurred was amazing. Of all the shows I saw in the 3 shows I saw in Milton Keynes, that was, I think, the most memorable in that it was MCR doing the thing they love doing, which is we're just gonna do something theatrical and give you no explanation, and then like the Friday show, the Saturday show, just walked out, didn't acknowledge what had happened Thursday, no explanation, just, that was that. Set list on Thursday, The Foundations of Decay, Helena, Give 'em Hell Kid, Make Room, Teenagers, Summertime, The Only Hope for Me Is You, Boy Division, Destroyer, Na Na Na, Welcome to the Black Parade, The Ghost of You, It's Not a Fashion Statement, It's a Fucking Death Wish, Thank You for the Venom, Mama, Famous Last Words, The Kids from Yesterday, Skylines and Turnstiles, which they haven't played in God knows how long, which was like the last track of the main set list, and it was really nice having Foundations of Decay and Skylines and Turnstiles bookend the main set because they are the most recent and the earliest song they ever did, and both of them sort of touch on 9/11. And then they did a first encore of Masters of Ravencroft off of the Mad Gear and the Missile Kid EP, I'm Not Okay, and then a second encore of Goodnight, Dr. Death and Vampire Money. And it was beautiful, beautiful chaos. It was a superb set list. It was wonderful. I had a great time. Went back and saw them again Saturday, which, as I said, Saturday set completely in no way acknowledged the prior night at all. Just, like, no explanation of the weird blood-soaked, as some people have been referring to him, tampon-era Gerard Way. No acknowledgement of that. Gerard came on stage and was like, hey, just gonna let you know we've got no fucking plan tonight. Don't know what's gonna happen. The set was beautiful. It was chaotic. At one point, Na 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 got played at double speed.
Yeah.
And clearly whoever initiated that happening, everyone else was very confused but just went with it. Because at the end, Gerard's like, I don't know what happened. What happened? He's like looking around at the rest of the band. It was great. It was one of my favourite performances I've seen of that song live. But it was very strange being like, oh, we're speeding up. What the fuck's happening here? What are we doing? So yeah, set list for the second night was Foundations of Decay, I'm Not Okay, Give 'em Hell Kid, Make Room, Summertime, Bulletproof Heart, This Is How I Disappear, You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison, Na Na Na, Famous Last Words, Surrender the Night got played again, which like I got to see it twice this week, a song that they'd never played live before this week, and it's one of my favourite MCR songs, and I got to see it twice.
Yeah.
Yay! Teenagers, Destroyer, Our Lady of Sorrows off the first album, which is another one that they don't play live very often at all. It is one of their like very fast, very heavy early ones. Vampire Money, Thank You for the Venom, Mama, Black Parade, Sleep, Boy Division, Helena. It was another very good set list, very intense, very go, 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 go once it got going. Basically, after Summertime and Bulletproof Heart, like tracks 6 and 7, it was just like, right, intensity and go. And then the final one I saw, which is the one you were at as well, Sunday, opened with a documentary about rats.
Yep.
On screen. The rats, it's a war against humans and rats, and the rats are winning. Before we went into Foundations of Decay, Na Na Na, Give 'em Hell Kid, Masters of Ravencroft, Cemetery Drive, Helena, Boy Division, House of Wolves, Black Parade, Teenagers, Ghost of You, Destroyer, The Only Hope for Me Is You, Vampire Money, Thank You for the Venom, Mama, Scarecrow, Famous Last Words, Cancer, Headfirst for Halos, and I'm Not Okay. Cancer in particular, they've not played in so long.
They did talk about why.
Yeah, it is a heavy fucking track to do. I believe the last time they played that song live was the show The Black Parade is Dead, which was the last time they played The Black Parade as an album start to finish.
Yeah.
I believe since then they've never played it live, and there's a little bit of me, as much as I enjoyed the Encore, there was a little bit of me that was like, that felt like such a perfect place to end it. Like, it almost felt cheap to go into anything else afterwards. I was like, this is perfect. I could walk away here and be happy. And then they played Headfirst for Halos, and I'm like, you know what, actually, that's a great tune. Sure, I'll take it. So yeah, that was the show you were there for. What did you think?
It's my first stadium gig.
How'd you find it?
I appreciated that despite signs up everywhere saying that you must be seated during the performance, no one forced me to sit anywhere.
Nope.
I sat down for about 20 minutes during Placebo, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, my knees won't take it, my hips won't take it. I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I just stood back up and I hung around near the bar and bopped around and had a great time.
Yay!
With lots of space and nothing cramping me in and not having to be anywhere particular, not having to sit down.
The venue staff were really good about, how do I put this? There are technically rules, and if asked, they will tell you what the rules on paper are, but also having some leeway and going, you're clearly not causing anyone any harm, we're not gonna be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, officially, if you ask anyone at that venue, the official line is that there is no camping out outside the venue overnight, that is not allowed, that is not permitted. Some of the staff were very clearly like, if you ask me, I have to tell you the answer is this. Infer from that what you will.
Yes.
Like, they were... I was very impressed with the organisation of all the staff on site. Like, they did a really good job of respecting, like, the people who'd camped out overnight and had taken numbers for where they were in line, of, like, making sure that they could get to the barrier in time, and everyone just, like, walked calmly down in single file to their spots. It was very well handled. It was lovely.
It sounded like it.
But
Good
yeah.
queer crowd. That was nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness, I have done nothing but CMCR play, like, many times this week, and you know what? If anything, I enjoyed it more each time. The enjoyment did not diminish despite seeing the same band perform multiple times in a week. Come home for like one night's sleep, go back out to see them again. They put on a bloody good show, and they did a
good show.
They did a very good job of keeping the setlist feeling fresh each night. They talked a little bit during the Sunday show about, hey, so we had planned to have like 3 set lists this tour that we were going to rotate between, and then that fell apart. We're playing new shit every night now. I was like, yay!
I mean, like, I think they're at that stage in their career where they can, like...
Yeah.
People are just happy to see them, so...
And I said...
You might as well keep yourself enjoying your time on stage.
And I said this last week when I'd seen just the first show. I really like that this whole tour so far has had a really good mix of, here is a bunch of the classics, mixed in with at least one song off of their first album every night, mixed in with a handful of things off of Conventional Weapons, which, like, they never toured, they never made a tour out of it, and, like, that's really nice to see. a handful of things off of Mad Gear and the Missile Kid. Like, the obscure stuff that, like, you never expect them to play. I think that they did a very good job of keeping the tone consistent with Foundations of Decay as the opener and trying to... I really get the impression after this week that they're trying to prep audiences for a new era of MCR, and they're like...
A slightly more metal era.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to play a lot of our faster, harder songs. We're going to play a lot of things that are cluing you into the tone we're going to have going forward. And I think that is a wise move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They put on a very good show.
They did.
And they seem to be having so much fun.
I think that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Because from the impression I got when they finished the Black Parade tour was they were fucking done.
Yeah, like... That's the thing. It's like they did a whole show about the fact they weren't going to tour the Black Parade as an album anymore because they were just sick of the doing the same thing over and over and over and over. They've talked about the fact that even like by the end of Danger Days touring, like there was a lot of expectation of them playing X, Y, and Z and not, you know, ABC on various tour dates. And it's nice to see them be unafraid to go, we want to play that thing that some of you might not know, and that's okay. And it genuinely seems like they're having a lot of fun with this tour, and that's really reassuring to see.
Absolutely.
Yay. I listened to so much My Chemical Romance. So much.
Well, I listened to Conventional Weapons all the way through 3 times.
Yeah.
Black Parade with the B-sides, which I don't think I'd heard before.
Yes, because that's like Kill All Your Friends, I think.
I don't know. There was a YouTube video that had all of the Black Parade with the B-sides at the end of it.
I'm trying to remember which ones are the B-sides. I think Kill All Your Friends, Bury Me in Black, I think, comes off that. Heaven Help Us, I know is a Black Parade B-side. My Way Home is Through You, Kill All Your Friends, and Heaven Help Us. And, those are some good tracks.
Yeah. Well, that is everything I've listened to.
That's everything you've listened to?
Yeah. Have you listened to anything else?
I don't think so. I'll double check. Looking for listened. Nah, that's it. I just listened to
Your
MCR.
ears were very occupied.
My ears were very occupied with Zombie Robot Gerard Way.
Yeah. Oh, I did listen to the Dice Funk Season 8 finale.
Oh,
I finally finished that.
How'd you find that?
It was good. And a small bunny seems to have appeared at the barber's.
Yeah, I wonder what that's about.
What?
Oh, what? Season 9?
Season 9. I'm so close.
You're so close.
I'm at January.
You're so close to current season.
Considering I sort of stopped listening during 2020, catching up with...
Yeah, I am impressed at your catching up. Well done.
I feel like I did okay.
I feel like you did very well.
It took forever, but yeah. I'm finally on top of it, sort of.
I'm so proud of Season 8 of Dice Funk. It was a fucking lot to record, but I'm very proud of the story told.
Yep. Bad cops, what are you going to do?
Probably fucking murder him.
Probably fucking murder a fascist. Sheep. Yeah. That is everything.
Well then, time for this.
I must say, I think I'm just going to have a quick glass of water.
Oh, goodness, really?
Well, you know, it's important to sort of pace yourself, you know. I'm drinking, you know, just the usual fun recreational amount.
Oh, yes.
You know, I'm not drinking away the dystopia.
Oh, no, certainly not. I know it can be bloody tempting to just to drink into the oblivion when things get bad, but that's certainly not a productive way of dealing with the dystopia, no.
That needs to be faced head-on with direct action where possible, you know.
Exactly. I've got to be compartmentous enough that I can, you know, get out and get doing.
Exactly. But that being said, you know, I'm just going to have a little glass of water here, and then I think we should probably get back to the sherry, because once we've finished this bottle, I think we'll probably have enough empties to get some mollies together and we can head up to Downing Street at the weekend.
Oh, lovely, yes. Just stick a couple of racks in the top, have a lovely time.
Lovely. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nasty Bastard Talent Agency.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, what do you want?
I seem to be... this is embarrassing to say. I seem to be falling into irrelevance.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, we get like that these days. You old hat stand-up, very popular during the early 2000s.
Yeah, well, the problem seems to be I haven't come up with any new jokes in the last 20 years, and apparently I can't just coast off of that anymore, and I'm falling a little aside.
Right, you got any morals? Any moral standards?
Didn't have many to begin with, and certainly not now.
Right, yeah. You'll stand up for animals, but fuck most people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's more marketable, of course. You know, if you are willing to go, oh yeah, but think of the sheep or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so, okay, what we can do? Yeah, are you willing to? How far down are you willing to punch?
How far down is the centre of the Earth?
12,714 kilometres.
It's pretty far down, right?
Yeah, are you willing to punch that far down? I mean,
Look, I like having money and they won't give me any of it anymore, so sure, I'll punch down as far as I've got to.
Excellent. Well, I mean, if you're willing to take a swing at any minority, I think Netflix might be the place for you.
I've heard that swinging down on trans people is pretty popular right now.
Very popular.
They got more space for that, or would I be stepping on anyone's toes?
Oh no! There's always more room for that. I mean, they'll probably get you back for another 5 shows. I mean, if you are willing to punch down.
Well, I mean, I do know the 2 trans jokes.
Well, if you can tell the 2 trans jokes, maybe throw in some racial material or some.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if I just say some lies about trans people being dangerous and say it with a laugh at the end, that's almost like a joke, right?
Yeah, and then at the end, maybe you could turn around and say, "Oh, this is just your talking points." Ha 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 ha! I wrote you know, implying that someone else wrote your script, and you're not even clever. I'm sold. You're signed. We'll get you on Netflix.
Oh, wonderful.
6-run special.
I do miss having relevancy.
Oh, don't worry. You'll have so much relevance. I mean, the GC crowd are big payers. They are.
Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Racial justice warriors.
Social justice warriors?
Yeah.
All right, Larry.
What up, Barry? How you doing?
Oh, I exist in 2022.
Yep, that continues to be the state of being.
Yeah, you been up to much?
I've been up to some things that are of regrettable uses of time, as they sometimes are.
Yeah.
I watched the UK government's parliamentary debate about non-binary recognition the other day.
Yeah, I heard not a lot of actual non-binary talk happened, but an awful lot of transphobic talking points were rammed right.
I mean, it's fair to say that 90% of that debate was not in any way talking about non-binary people and was just taking swings at binary trans women. And, not acknowledging non-binary people at all and just going, keep trans women out of bathrooms, etc. for, an hour. But the thing that annoyed me most, maybe not most, but it's one that I haven't. It's the first time I've really noticed and put it to words how much this annoys me.
Yeah.
All the way through that debate, MPs on both sides kept congratulating themselves and others for the civil tone of the discussion, and this is a thing that's weirdly prevalent in UK politics.
It didn't sound particularly civil from what I could tell.
No, it really wasn't. It was incredibly distasteful and horrid. But there's this thing in UK politics where MPs seem to believe that as long as someone stops talking at the end of their time and sits there until it's their turn to talk again and doesn't raise their voice and doesn't say a swear word, then they've been quite civil. And you'll get them, through the whole thing. You'll get, supposedly left-wing politicians from supposedly left-wing parties who will pat the right wing on the back after they've spent 40 minutes talking about how trans women should not be allowed to have any rights and are probably paedophiles, and go, well, I'd like to thank the right-wing party for their civility during today's debate, because you spoke calmly and didn't raise your voice while deciding that a group you don't like shouldn't have basic human rights. And it frustrates me because, civility, if you're even going to call it that, is a luxury that, it's easy to afford when these kind of debates don't impact your rights in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see political parties not be civil. I know how the game's played, but I want to see a political party go, that's some fucking bullshit you pulled, and fuck off. It's frustrating seeing the it was very polite the way that you said that group should lose all their rights. You said it in a polite way.
Yeah.
It annoys me.
Oh, understandable, mate. The whole thing is absolutely disgusting. And, the way the person who shared that, but I'm not entirely sure how they put it up.
Yeah,
for
they
debate.
presented the motion.
That's all. They did, as you say, they waited their turn to speak, and as soon as they did get up to speak themselves, they were immediately mobbed and talked over and derided.
It was a fucking ridiculous debate to watch, in that all of the right-wing speakers completely and utterly went completely off topic on non-binary matters, didn't touch on it at all. The second the supposedly left-wing speakers even go onto a slight tangent, it's like, nope, that's not non-binary, you're not allowed. Fucking hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Like, certain things are British politics. I know that they exist because of tradition, but they fucking annoy me on principle. Like, in political debates in the House of Commons, House of Lords, things like that, everyone has to refer to everyone else as the honourable so-and-so, and I'm like, no, they're not honourable. They're trying to strip rights away from groups in society.
You are without honour.
Exactly. The dishonourable so-and-so over there.
Gowron would be displeased.
Exactly. I really wish we could strip all of the fucking pomp and circumstance out of British politics, because it is just fucking infuriating.
Was it Ukrainian Parliament that would regularly have fistfights?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we maybe some more of that.
Maybe just a little bit of that.
I'd like to see Maury Black headbutt Boris Johnson.
I would pay good money to see it. Put 3 rounds in the ring, I'm sure it'd raise a good chunk of cash. Fancy enough.
I love one, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good hug, mate. Good hug.
I'm glad you got a good chuckle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over the lie down, mate.
Yeah.
So Laura,
Me?
we, I believe, are
We?
we,
We?
us,
Us?
we, not we sports. We're doing a book. We're doing a book.
We
We're
are.
about to do another edit on it.
Yeah, we're going to sit down tomorrow morning and do another development edit and go, what are we changing this
What are
time?
we changing this time?
But that's basically the last time we're going to go over and make major structural changes.
Yep.
It's happening. What's that book called?
It's called Who Hunts the Whale?
What's it about?
It's about the problems of the video game industry and how it might seem like a big cool thing if you don't follow industry news beyond new gamers coming out.
Yeah.
And the problems that will involve for this new person who has come from a tiny little town at the bottom centre of the map and is going to work in a big city and experience the games industry. Woo! Yeah, you can get that on unbound.com/books/whale. You can pre-order it now. You can get loads of cool swag. And you can read our cool story that is very funny, and I am excited.
I'm very proud of this story and cannot wait to share it.
Mm-hmm. You have also done something with a monster of some sort. I believe.
Me and my dysphoria monster. It
Yeah.
comes out on August 18th, 2022, which is less than 3 months away. It's rapidly approaching. Go check it out wherever books are available. Other than that, I'm at Laura K. Buzz pretty much everywhere because I've got that unified branding. Laura K. Buzz on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon. That's the one that pays the bills. Just search Laura K. Buzz. You'll find all the things I do. What about you?
Me, I am streamerlinks.com/Janiac, JANEAAC. The joy of Streamerlinks is I don't have to have unified branding. It unifies it for me. So if you want to find any of my stuff, we got T-shirts available on my Redbubble. We've got SoundCloud, 2 SoundClouds, 1 for this, 1 for music. Got a few other things too. Most important one though is patreon.com/stonedmonkeyradio. For as little as $1 a month, you can help me justify my entire life. I am getting very close to 30 subscribers, and I'm very excited about that. Thank you to the 27 people who support me. I very much appreciate all of you. And yeah, you could join them for $1. You could get early access to Queer and Pleasant Strangers for $10 a month, and find out other early access things. And I think that's everything. Laura, will you sing us out, please, dear?
Until next time, be a stranger.